Good morning, happy Tuesday, happy International Women's Day. Welcome to day 8 of Ask Me Anything series. Today's topic is on Funder Stream part 5, and today I'm going to dive into another form of stream in terms of funding your organization that you can definitely activate to do your impactful work. For those that don't know me, my name is Omotola the Great. I am the lead consultant here at the Funding Magnet, and our mission is to aid and support at least 1,000 nonprofits to fully fund their budget this year. We believe that you don't have to go broke to make a difference, and that you can make a living while making a difference. And we're here to support you in ensuring that you can fully fund your work. We know that you are champions and you are called to do good, whether that's for a specific population, specific location or community. And so as an organization, our goal is to support you and ensure that you are able to do the work that you said you want to do. And so I've been doing this series for the past 8 days where I share about the ups and the downs of running a nonprofit, and also ask the questions that people ask me. And so one of the frequently asked questions has always been, how do I fund my nonprofit? How do I fund my project? And so I have been taking some time for the past 5 days to teach you about different streams of income that you can activate for your nonprofit. We've talked about your board of trustee, your board of director. We've talked about individual donors. We've talked about grants. Yesterday was all about corporate sponsorship. And today I'm going to focus on event. Yes, I said it, event. So if you have specific question about your nonprofit, about funding it, feel free to leave it in the chat. I'm also happy to respond to them. And also, if you feel shy and you don't want to comment in the chat, you can always send us a DM as well, and I'll be happy to treat your question. But today we're going to focus on event. So event is another form of funding stream that you can activate for your nonprofit, and it can be very impactful if you know how to do it right. And so what are events? I know a lot of people believe that if you're a nonprofit, then you cannot make money. That is not true. Just because you're a nonprofit or an NGO, it's just your registration status. It doesn't mean that you cannot make profit or you cannot make money or charge for your services or things that you do. And so I want to clear that up first and foremost, that as a nonprofit, you can definitely make money. You can definitely charge for something. The only difference between you and a for-profit business is that for the for-profit business, yes, all the money might go back into the organization, into the funders or the investors. But for the nonprofit, the money goes back into running your program. So paying for your staff, your overhead, paying for the materials, the resources you need to carry out the program. So as the funder, as the board of trustee or board of directors, you don't take any cut of the money that comes in. And so that's just the difference. But as a nonprofit, as an NGO, you can definitely make money or charge for your product or your program as well. And so back to this funding stream, it's called events. So events are other ways that you can definitely raise funds for your organization, especially if you're still a little bit like you're growing, you're young in terms of the years that you've been in existence, and maybe grants might not be the best way for you to go forward. Maybe corporate sponsors, you are not ready for those yet. So you can look at events, and there are different ways that you can do that. And so I'm going to share different ways that you can use events to be a stream that generates income for your work and help you to get the funding to do the work that you do. So there are different ways you can go about using and planning an event to fundraise. I've seen organizations that have done event monthly to raise awareness, and then use that opportunity to charge for people to pay for the program that they are designing. Or they've done it quarterly, so every 3 months or every 4 months. Or some of them have done it yearly, where they do one annual thing and they bring everybody together, and then they're able to use that to bring about funding to do the work that they do. And so one of the most common ones when it comes to events has been the annual gala. And this is basically where people come together, like the organization will plan at least 6 months or more in advance for this gala. And basically what they do is to ask people to come for an event where they have dinner, they have like music, so like different events like poetry, like drama being done, and then also an opportunity to share about what the work of the organization and what they've been able to accomplish, whether in the past 6 months or in the past 1 year. And so during this gala, people have to pay, they have to buy a ticket for them to be there. And so imagine if the organization targets to have 500 people to come for the gala, and then let's say the amount was $100 per each person who shows up. That's at least $5,000 that they are going to raise for their organization, or more. Yeah, more than $5,000 that $50,000 that they are raising for the organization if they do that. So $100 with 500 people. And so event can be a very powerful way to bring in the funding that you need. And it's not just the immediate funding that you get from the ticket. Another thing that non-profit can do during that gala is to also do a call for donation, where they'll have different items that they are sort of like auction off. So that means they get donations from people, in-kind donations, whether it's service, whether it's product that people will like or people want. And then beyond just the people paying the ticket to be part of this gala, that's already that's a stream of income that they've gotten. Then they do an additional auction of things that they received freely or at lower price, but they auction it at like more than the amount they used in getting those items. And so they use that and then they're able to get people to give to the organization through that as well. So imagine if they have like 100 products, and then maybe it varies from like $20 to $1,000 that they're charging for this to be auctioned off. And when people purchase that, the money received from that also goes back to the non-profit. And so that's another way that you can definitely fund your organization. If you're not ready to do something like an annual gala, then there are other ways you can do that. You can do a quarterly gathering where you bring people together, where you have like a specific event. Let's say your community, like think about it now that the pandemic is sort of calming down and things are going back to the new normal that we have right now. So one of the things that you can do is to start doing networking event for people and bringing people in your community together. A lot of people, they've been out and they've been gone for a bit. Like everybody has been staying at home, working from home and things like that. So you can organize, let's say you work for your population of interest is young people, like children. You can organize a program where you have like weekly or monthly activities for children to come, and then their parents pay a fee to come for that, and then maybe for 5 hours, 6 hours you entertain these children, you give them educational materials, and then you allow them to have fun. And so the goal is that whatever event that you do or you choose to do, make sure that you are able to cover your expenses for that event, and more than ever also that you make some profit from it, because it does not make sense for you to put off an event and then incur so much cost that at the end of the day, through your ticket sale, through the things that you auction off or the donation that you receive, it's not enough to even cover the cost. That will not make sense. And so as you're thinking about this and activating this funding stream, you need to really plan and be strategic about it, and you need to give yourself time. It's not just something that you want to do next week, next month. You need at least give yourself at least 60 days to think thoroughly about it, because it doesn't make sense to spend so many times and hours planning for this event than to get a poor result in terms of those that show up. And so event can be very powerful way for you to raise funding for your organization. Another thing I've seen is like a monthly gathering. So we've talked about annual gathering, where you do an annual gala and bring people together, and then you raise money from the ticket sale as well as things that you auction off for people to pay for and the donation you request for. Then we've talked about quarterly gathering, where you do like a networking or like a community event and bring people together, and then you use that you sell tickets as well. You also ask for donation, and you also sell other items as well. Another thing I've seen some organizations do is to do monthly events, where they might each month they have a different team, and then it's a way for them to get to know the community, and then also use that to fundraise for their work that they do. So they might do like bingo night, so that it can be a game team kind of month where they do bingo night, and people will pay, let's say $20 to $25 each to come for this bingo night, and then there'll be food and drinks, and then depending if some non-profits will charge extra for the food and drink, and sometimes it's already covered in the ticket. So imagine if you have a bingo night each month or a game night. It doesn't have to be bingo, and then you have 10, 20, 50, 40 people show up, and and you're able to use that to raise money. And then you also have those people's attention beyond just the ticket they pay to come for this game night. You are able to also now talk to them and share about the vision and the mission of your work and what you're trying to accomplish, and how they can support you and partner with you to do some good as you go forward. And so before you jump into using event as a funding strategy, one of the things that I would like you to consider is to say, first and foremost, what kind of event can you do? So as much as possible, yes, your nonprofit can make money, but based on whatever country or states that you're registered in, it has to be in alignment with your vision and your mission. You can't just do any event that is out of place. So it's very important that when you're thinking about what event can we do, make sure it still aligns with your mission and your vision. If you're doing something that is opposite your mission and your vision, then it's harder to sell to those potential people who you want to partner with you to support your work that you do as well. And so make sure that whatever you do, you are able to bring about something that is in alignment with your mission and your vision. That's the first thing. Secondly, make sure that you can cover your expenses. It does not make sense for you to incur more money to put on the event than what you're going to get. So make sure you plan it so well, you know your target number, that, okay, if you're going to spend $500 to put this event together, our goal is to reap times 3. So that means at least your your goal is to get $2,000 back. And so it doesn't make sense to do an event that costs $500 and then you bring $300 in, so you'll be at deficit. That will be like minus $200 that you have to account for. And so it's very important that you do your budget right, and you make sure that whatever event you do, you must be able to not just cover your cost, but you get some profit left over that you can now use additionally for the funding that you want to do as well. Then the third thing is, like, make sure that you have people who can help you to manage the event. So don't try to make sure you plan it well, that you have the volunteers, you have everybody that can be in place to support you during that event period. Because if you did the event and you don't do it very well, the chance of people coming again, especially if you want to keep using event as a recurring way to raise money for your organization, then it's going to be very difficult for people to want to come the next time you do another event. And so you need to be really clear about your logistics. You need to be clear about how can you make this an experience that people will never forget. How can you make this something that people will want to come to, that they will not just want to come to it, but they are going to share with their other friends, their family, and their network as well. And so you need to make sure that you have the manpower to be able to carry out the event as you go forward. And then also during the event, like I said, don't just stop at getting the tickets for those people to be part of the event, the entrance ticket. Use that opportunity to share about the vision and your mission of your organization. It doesn't have to take long. It might just be 5 to 10 minutes before you dive into the main activity, and share a story, share an example, or have one of your beneficiaries come and talk to the people. And then at the end of the day, as the people are working out, have something in place where if they want to learn more, either by volunteering, by giving, or they want to partner with you, they have that opportunity to be able to do so as well. And so it's very important that you take that time to do that as well. And then last but not the least is that when you are also having this event, make sure you you follow up, have a system to collect their information, their name, their businesses, where they work, their phone numbers, and more importantly, their email address. Even if you cannot get their phone number or their business or where they work, at least their email address, so that way you can keep following up with them. You can add them to your email list, and then they can be on your newsletter as well. Because the truth is, just because maybe they're just meeting you now, but in the future they might want to give. They might know people that would like to give. They might know people that care about your mission and your vision. And so they can be the champions to help you spread the word about the work you do and how you go about it. And so it's very important that you find a way to, beyond just the event, continue to nurture the relationship, continue to steward the relationship, and continue to bring about opportunities for these people to be able to connect with you and connect with the work that you do. And so that's all I have for you today. If you have questions, like I said, feel free to send a DM or leave a comment in the chat. I hope that this was helpful. If you try it and it worked, send me a DM. Let me celebrate with you as well. Tomorrow I'll be back again, and we're going to have another stream of funding source that we're going to discuss. In the meantime, I have a free masterclass coming up in April, on April 5th. You can click the link in the bio to find out and register for it. It's free, but you have to show up because there's no replay. And if you want to get the replay, you have to pay for it. And so go click the link in the bio and definitely register for it. Also, if you are in need of other trainings and classes, if you go to the link in the bio as well, you'll be able to learn more about our digital academy, and you can also definitely look at some of the courses that is right for you. If you're not sure of what course or what pathways you should go into, send us a DM. We'll be happy to consult with you and tell you what we think is right for you based on your current situation and the stage of your organization. Until next time, keep doing good, and I'll see you tomorrow.